So in this report from Hearts and Wallets, 43% of retired folks were very surprised at how much that they were going to enjoy retirement. So that's a really good sign. So let's take a look at some of these other things inside the report. 1 in 4 retired households said they were forced to live more frugally than they wanted to. Just under 25% of people retired earlier than they wanted to. And a lot of that normally is due to health reasons or even financial reasons. Sometimes, if you lose your job or something and you got to make ends meet, they had to retire. And it looks like about 15% of people had a hard time generating income because of the low interest rates. And sometimes you have to go out and you got to take a look at your asset allocation. And if the money in bonds is just not there, sometimes you have to change that allocation. Like I'm having to stay in the 60-40 right now because the interest rates just aren't paying high enough for me to go back down to a 50-50 where I would like to be. Now, one of the good things is we had about 1 in 10 people who had more income than when they were working. So that's a really good thing. If you have that, I wouldn't call that a problem. That's a good thing that you actually have more income than when you're working. And I ran into a few people when I was working that was a real deal for them. They actually didn't realize that they could take more money out than they were making when they were working. So, that's on the good part there. Another good part was their expenses were lower than they expected, and that again is around in that 10% range. And I think that's where my wife and I kind of fall into as well, is that we expected there to be a few more expenses than there actually were when we retired. And it looks like a little under 10% of people have needed to go ahead and go back to work because they needed more money in retirement. And that really doesn't count the people who just wanted to go back to work. That's people who had to go back to work because they needed more money. About that same amount, spending their nest egg too fast, about 1 in 10 or 10% were spending their nest egg too fast. And it looked like about 7 or 8% of people wanted to work but had difficulty in finding a job. And so that's not a very big percentage, but that could be a problem. Depending on your skill set, finding work or finding work that you're able to do physically could be a problem for you. So I do want to say that I am not a professional, I am not a financial advisor, and I would suggest you go ahead and seek out a financial advisor who's a fiduciary fee only, who can help you with your personal retirement plan. Another thing this report identified was that there are 2 types of retirees mainly. And these 2 types, it was kind of funny. I was surprised when I read this. But the 2 types are chunk withdrawals and people who don't withdraw at all. So a financial advisor can help you and give you that confidence that you need to be able to tell how much per month you can draw out of your nest egg and out of your retirement. So a lot of people, what they do is they take big chunks out of their retirement fund and they say, well, I want to go on a big vacation. Here's $20,000 here. Or, my son, his car is always breaking down. I'm going to buy him a new car, and boom, here comes another chunk. So you have those type of spenders. Then you have the type of spenders who just don't spend anything. They try to keep every penny they can in that nest egg and just live off the Social Security or what other income provisions that they have. So if you feel like you might be one of those 2 types of spenders, you may want to go ahead and get a financial advisor and have him take a look at your plan. If you don't have a plan, print it out, take a look at it, and have confidence in it. And I think that's a big problem for a lot of people, is they just don't have confidence in their retirement plan. So if you've gotten anything out of this video, I'd appreciate it if you go down and hit the like button and watch this video next.